guys, so as you know from my last video as well as essentially everything that's happening in the news, we are definitely on full-on lockdown, quarantine, social distancing mode. And so I haven't actually left my house, or rather the perimeter of my house, for at least a week, and needless to say I'm getting severe cabin fever. So to combat that, I thought that I would do a little backyard glamping. I am fortunate enough to live in a house. Not only that, but we have a decent sized backyard, I would say. And so I thought it would be fun for me to set up my tent in the backyard, some lights, you know, maybe get a fire going, and just have some quiet time. Essentially pretend I'm on a camping trip, even though I'm in my backyard. So yeah, I'm gonna vlog it. I guess to make it bookish, I am going to read. I haven't decided what I'm going to read yet, but it's probably going to be a short story. Obviously, I will let you guys know which one of those books that I choose. But yeah, I think I'm going to do this. So let's get started.
Buy what I want, I don't want it. Do what I like, I don't like it. My life is a mess. Screaming with boredom, I don't feel nothing when I'm buzzing. Someone adds some glamorous hurt, 'cause when I sleep alone for insomnia, they say you have to be beaten up before you're tender enough. They say you have to bruise to feel. I don't taste it, obsessing over dress when I split. Shoot me a blink, I'm dying from boredom.
Okay, I'm debating whether or not to put the rain fly on. I don't think it's gonna rain tonight, but this is Georgia weather, so you never know. I think I'm gonna risk it and leave it off.
Before you're tender enough, they say you have to bruise to feel. I must be made out of steel. No one is in charge of my steering. This I know, this I know, this I know. Hoping dreams are meant to be shared and seen. No, I know, yes I know. Painting watercolors outside the lines is uplifting and no crime. Get out of the box, let me show you how. Here we go. No one is in charge of my steering. This I know, this I know, this I know.
So here we go. I've got my bedside table, which is actually a plant stand. My bed, obviously, with some comfortable pillows. I've got my foot blanket, which is actually a Mexican blanket that I will sometimes use as a rug, but I think my dog has been coming in and out and I don't want to put it on the floor and get it dirty. I've got my backpack, a little bit of supplies, and in the corner for later on, I've got some tea lights that I will probably light for a little extra mood ambiance. And then a fan. As you guys see, I did not put the rain fly on. Still debating about that, but for now I'm going to keep it off so that I can take advantage of the lovely sky in the nighttime. And then I don't know if you guys can see these little like string lights hanging, but when I turn those on, let me do that right quick. Can you guys see that? It'll be more magical at night. Yeah, so pretty simple setup, just enough to make me comfortable and yet make me feel like I'm not cooped up in the house, even though the house is like 100 feet away. I haven't talked about reading yet. In my backpack, I did bring some provisions, one of which is my Kindle. So yeah, I'm going to download a couple of book samples. So far, if you guys saw my last video, I was talking about books that I have been listening to, or types of books that I've been listening to during this whole social distancing thing, and one of the book types has been short books or novellas, and so I'm probably going to read one of those this evening. One, I think it'll fit perfectly into this vlog because I'll probably be able to finish it, and also I'm still not quite mentally prepared to take on a full-size or rather full-length book. So I have been on a huge Jessica Cain kick, and I actually took a break from her because I think I've gone through her entire backlist except for like a handful of stories, and I'm trying to hold off. So I found another short novella romance author, Jenica Snow, and I have been reading her A Real Man series. The first book in that series is called Lumberjack, and so book 2 is called Virgin. I don't know if I'm actually going to read that one or if I'm going to read another book in the series. I don't think you need to go in order because they feature different couples, but that's what I will probably land on. Let me browse through really quickly and figure out, and so when I talk to you guys again, you'll know specifically which book I decided on. Okay, so I am back. I decided which book I am going to go with. Hopefully you guys can see me okay, because I know that it has gotten darker outside and all I've got is the campfire lighting me right now, which I don't mind. In fact, campfire is one of my absolute favorite smells, so I am just loving it. Anyway, as far as which book I decided to go with. So the last time I talked to you guys, I think I mentioned that I was going to see what other books in Jenica's Real Man series, because I wasn't sold on Naked, which is book 2. And so since there's so many books out, I think there are about 22, maybe something like that, I decided to look around, see if something else caught my fancy, and I found something. I ended up deciding to go with Friends, which is a Friends to Lovers book, and I know before I had said that Friends to Lovers isn't actually my favorite trope. I don't mind it, it's just I prefer enemies to lover. However, I will say R.S. Grey changed my mind. The last R.S. Grey book that I read was a Friends to Lovers, and it was really well done, and so I figured I would try another one out by another author. Hopefully this is low stakes, low drama. I just want something bite-sized, easy to consume, enjoyable, and I can just be done with it. And so fingers crossed that it delivers. I will say it got pretty high ratings on Amazon, so it is promising. So yeah, I'm going to read some by the fire. It's such a lovely night out. I mean, it couldn't have been a better day to do this. As much as social isolation has gotten to me, I will say this is finally some calm that I feel myself having just being outside, even though it is in my own backyard. But you know, every little bit helps, and so yeah, I'm gonna continue relaxing, read some more, and I will check back in with you guys in a little bit. Okay, so now that it is nighttime, I wanted to give you guys a little tour of my campground. Not sure how well you can see things, but you can kind of put the pieces together based on shots from when it was brighter. So here we've got the fire pit and 2 Adirondacks, and that bright light over there, by the way, is my Kindle Paperwhite, so don't be alarmed. So then we make it over to what is now the magical abode. I ended up bringing some tea lights from inside and putting them in this adorable glass container that I usually keep in the living room. And then, this is my favorite part, fairy lights. Oh, so magical. I'll show you guys another view of them once I'm actually in the tent for the night, but I love these. I'm not sure how long the battery's gonna last, but I'm gonna milk them till the end. It's just so gorgeous. Okay, so here I am, all hunkered in for the night. I actually ended up switching the direction of my pillows because it was kind of at an incline, so I moved my little side table, and I also brought in this little outdoor chair just so that I can read inside without having to lay in bed. So let's take a quick little tour now that you guys can see what it looks like at night. So we've got my little setup, loving it. And then obviously I am sitting in the chair, but this is my little fan and my lamp. And let me turn this off for you really quickly. You guys can see. Yeah, so I'm gonna read for a bit, like I said, and let's see how far I can get. I feel like I can finish this whole thing tonight. I most definitely can, but I don't know the way my attention span has been going, whether I can do it in one sitting. So we shall see. Oh, I almost forgot. My last act before coming back here for the night, I got myself a little hot chocolate. So perfect comforting drink, outdoorsy camping, minus the phone and the text messages going off. But I got my book, my hot chocolate, my tent, so I am all set. I am what you would call a happy camper. Prunts. That was a terrible joke, terrible pun. So I'm definitely gonna cut the camera off now. Okay, so I am about 40% in, and so far it's really good. So like I said, it is a friends to lovers, and it's actually a little more than that. Hold on, I got my classical music playing in the background for ambiance. How it starts off is that we've got our main girl, Megan. She actually just got kicked out of her apartment and she doesn't have anywhere to go. She can't go back to her mom's place because she lives across the country, and so the only person that she knows in town is her ex-stepbrother Brendan, and so he obviously allows her to stay, but what each other doesn't know is that they are in love with one another, as most friends to lovers relationships go, I would assume. And so I'm at the part, well, so far we're getting the story from both of their points of view, which I really love. Even though this is a novella, I love seeing both sides, and I love seeing that each one of them is essentially thinking what the other one is thinking, which is basically how they're so in love with them, but they just need to get the balls to tell them and finally admit it. And there's so many like close will they, won't they. There's actually a scene in there where they play strip poker, and things get just on the verge of heating up, but not really. And so it's so good so far. So I'm gonna keep reading. I haven't even been reading for an hour, so at this pace I'll be soon out. Well, at this pace I imagine I will be done in no time, so I will once again check back in with you guys. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it continues to be as good as it has been so far. Okay, so I'm only a couple of pages since my last check-in, but right after I left you guys, I got to the part where he admits that he loves her, and it's just like, oh, all the feels. Okay, oh God, I want to talk about this with you guys, but I don't want to give anything away. But just know, if you read the story, or if you have read the story, the way that they kind of come clean with one another, oh, it's so sweet. So I imagine the sexy times are going to follow after this very soon. But yeah, I just got like a rush, like a swell in my heart, and so I had to share that with you guys. Okay, back to reading. Okay, so I just finished, and my initial gut reaction is that this is about a 2.5, which is not bad for these kinds of books. So the last time I left you guys, I was talking about this super sweet moment where they finally admitted their feelings to each other, and I loved that. But shortly after that, when they finally got together, there were some parts in it where it seemed like our male character, our hero, just went like full Neanderthal possessive, which I have read stories like that before, and that is actually how Jenica Snow's other book was, Lumberjack, that I finished, but that one felt a little bit more realistic just because the male character seemed to fit into that role, whereas this guy, he's like fresh out of college, not a whole lot of experience, and for him to almost seem like he flipped the switch and all of a sudden is like super possessive, I don't know if I love that. So yeah, that's like my biggest critique about it. I will say, however, and I think this is actually maybe something that she does in all of the books in the series, even though it is a novella, a short story or whatever, there is an epilogue, but more than that, there's like another special epilogue afterward, which I think is super cute. So let's say if the epilogue is maybe like a month later or a few months later, the secondary one is years later, which I think is a nice touch because it kind of just reinforces the couple's happily ever after, because naturally they're still together. More often than not, they've got kids, because that's like the ultimate happy ever after for these kinds of books, whatever. But yeah, that was a nice touch, especially because it was Christmas theme, and I know it's obviously not Christmas right now, but warm and fuzzy sentiment and descriptions and stuff like that was a nice thing to end with. So speaking of ending with, I think I am going to not call it a night, but I think I'm going to crawl into bed. And I actually brought the iPad out. I figured I was going to finish my book soon, and so when that happened, I might turn on Netflix just until I go to sleep. And so yeah, that's exactly what I am going to do. And hopefully it doesn't rain, fingers crossed, knock on wood, and I will see you guys in the morning. Yes, so last night was definitely a success. It was perfect. It didn't rain, so I made the great decision of keeping the rain fly off. Apparently there are owls in our neighborhood because I heard them last night, which was very comforting. I woke up actually to a fire. My husband set a fire, which is perfect. And so yeah, I would call this a backyard glamping camping situation a definite success. As for the actual book, I know last night I told you guys I would give you a more thorough recap, and after sleeping on it, I'm still gonna have to go with 2.5 stars, exactly for the reasons that I said last night, in terms of him being a little bit too Neanderthal, and that not necessarily being the personality that he had starting off. But it was still cute at times, but not necessarily enough to outweigh the personality switch up. So I would definitely suggest maybe giving this series a try. I'll let you go ahead and pick whichever book you want if you want something spicy, short, and to the point. And by the way, all of these series are available on Kindle Unlimited or just straight up Kindle. So if you have an e-reader and you want to read on the go, this is a good option. So I think I am going to go ahead and end the vlog here, just so that I can go ahead and enjoy my campfire and slow wake up morning with my coffee. I hope you guys enjoyed following along on my little backyard adventures, and whatever you're doing, I hope that you are staying safe and occupying your time as best as possible given everything that is going on. So I will talk to you guys later. Stay safe. Happy reading. Bye.